Next idea. Owning a business is about having control. And I always think back to this amazing tagline, almost a purpose statement from Pirelli Tire, that power is nothing without control. So how do we get control of our ever-growing and evolving businesses that are getting more and more complex? And what a trick that somebody taught me that changed the whole way that I felt about running my business was fitting a business on a single page. And the idea was that at the end of the day, I could finish my day and look at a single piece of paper, or nowadays, a single screen on my computer, and a single email that gets sent to me that tells me, in terms of my specific business, exactly where we are, exactly where the business is today, the things that I need to know to feel comfortable that I know what's going on. That is power and control. The next idea is to get out of the office. Offices have become places where you really get trapped in your business, where you get that feeling of working in your business instead of on it. When you started your business, you were out and about. Because what I found is that nobody can make a decision in front of a customer better than the business owner. There's a great book that's a perennial bestseller called Good to Great that talks about companies that go from being good to great. It talks about having the right people on the bus. If you have the right people on the bus, the problem of how to motivate and manage people largely goes away. The right people don't need to be tightly managed or fired up. They will be self-motivated by the inner drive to produce the best results and to be part of something great. When people are powered by a purpose that has meaning to them, and you've given them the challenge of what they need to do, they will do great things for you. If they don't, they're not the right people on the bus, and they need to get off the bus. So the challenge is to hang that out to lunch sign and try to get out of that desk and go back to what you were doing in the business when it was filled with passion and purpose. Next concept is relationships, not sales. I hate sales. And my challenge to you is forget it. It doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. It may work for the short term. You may get some initial customers, but you're going to get orders, not customers. You're going to get somebody that's an initial order for you, but not a relationship that grows with your business. I believe that 20% of all of those names and numbers and all of those people that you met that we all keep in our Rolodex files or our Palm Pilots or our whatever, or our iPhones, that 20% of that makes up 80% of the business that you do. That there's 20% of the names that you have that equals 80% of the success that you're having. And the idea here in relationships instead of sales is to focus on those 20 names. Maybe it's 40 to 50, maybe it's 100 names, depending on what you're doing. When we started doing that, in the first year that we started doing this, our revenue doubled. All those other years we were bumping ahead, trying to do regular sales. When we just started, I didn't ask for any business. I just focused on those relationships and stayed in touch with those people and added value to what they were doing. Even if it was just giving them an idea, giving them a free idea, introducing them to somebody, revenue doubled. The last thing I want to leave you with is the concept of goal jumping that'll help you put this all into perspective. When you do your goal setting exercises, think about what your business looks like so far into the distance that where it is today doesn't matter. If you want to have more profitability and less people, that's a great goal. That's okay. If you want to have 10 times the amount of offices or just 10 times the amount of revenue or 50 times the amount of revenue, that's your goal. Then jump back and say, if that's where we're going to be 10 years from now, where do we need to be 3 years from now to be a little less than a third of the way there? Jump back again. Where do I have to be 12 months from today to be a third of the way there? And then the critical piece to put this into action is what happens in the next 90 days, who's going to do each of the tasks to get us there, and when are they going to do it? When are they going to finish it 5 steps past done? Here's what happens when you write it down. You become better than 97% of the people out there who never write down their goals. A goal without a plan is only a wish. In a 1979 survey of 1,000 graduating Harvard students, 84% of them had no particular defined goals, while 13% of them had goals but did not write them down. Only 3% of the students had goals in writing. 10 years later, the same students were surveyed again. The 13% who had goals but never wrote them down earned on average twice as much as the students without any plan at all. The 3% who had written goals earned on average 10 times more than the other 97%, just from the fact that they wrote them down. Seems strange, but has proved true for me, for a lot of our clients, for a lot of people I know, and this is actually an old study. So I challenge you to join your own business brickyard, to create those basics that work for your business, to reconnect to the fundamentals that will keep you always feeling fun with your business. The truth is that 85% of all businesses are exactly the same. The idea of the business brickyard is to get that 85% so perfect, to get it so locked in that you can focus on the 15% that does make your business unique. It's that 15% where you won't have any competition, where you'll do everything that's completely unique to your business, where you express and articulate and prove your purpose. So focus on that 85%. Thank you again very much for coming out this morning. It was really terrific to speak to you.